I'm Kerry Burton, worked at Pets at Home for 6 years, currently as FP&A manager. I was project manager of the BPC implementation of Rolling Reforecast on HANA, which we've recently gone live with and are continuing to improve. We were all Excel based in our Rolling Reforecast planning. It's actually called the Rolling R&Os, the Risk and Opportunities process. We wanted to get to a BPC solution, which is what we were currently using for our formalised planning rounds. The main aim was that we had one version of the truth, had data integrity, and that it was easier for users and for the FP&A team to be able to add value to the process rather than just compile data. We came to meet Rinedata by chance at an FP&A convention in London. We were talking over coffee and we were sharing our BPC experiences to date. When we decided to implement the Rolling Reforecast, the development started with an in-depth, detailed, basically a design process where Rinedata came on site and we worked through what we required as a business. And part of that meant that they needed to help us figure out what that requirement was. We weren't fully sure what BPC could do at that point, so it was really good to have them here to show us the capabilities of BPC, so we weren't just recreating an as-is process, which isn't something we wanted to do. So we did the design process, and then we had consultants on site as per our need to build the input sheets really. It was a phased approach, so the first input sheet was built and then we test it, give feedback, and then any improvements were made in the second one, which was really good. So we didn't get delivered a product that we couldn't use. And they did it with us, so we were very much in the room, so the development was hand in hand rather than done off-site and then handed over to us, and we did it together, which meant that when it came to the reporting and the tweaks, we could make them ourselves. It also helped from the training point of view, so when we were training colleagues and our users, we were confident that we could do that ourselves rather than needing Rinedata to do that. Working with Rinedata has been refreshing, they're very professional, very reliable, and they're always at the end of the phone when we've needed them, especially during projects, but even now that we're using the Rolling Reforecast in BPC, they're still at the end of the phone. The support centre that they use is really reliable. We don't have a qualm about ringing them up, even with something that seems a bit fundamental. We're still walking before we can run at Pets at Home, and they're definitely helping us start to run a bit faster. The reaction from BPC Rolling Reforecast has been very positive so far. The users think that it's very usable, very easy to use, it makes sense to them, which is very valuable to us. The output as well, so FP&A have been able to spend more time on the output of BPC rather than the reconciliation I mentioned earlier, which means that our pack that we present to the management team it looks like a proper proposal rather than a big Excel spreadsheet that we don't have full confidence in. So the interface that Rinedata had built meant that it looked appealing and looked familiar because we're all accountants, so we love Excel. So an appealing Excel sheet for them to use meant that it wasn't a daunting task. So for them, it did feel like an as-is process. The management team have a lot more confidence in the numbers that we're delivering now because it's all from a system, so what gets input is what gets output, which sounds really simple, but when you're using Excel sheets and different versions of those Excel sheets, it never really happens that way. So there's more confidence in what we're producing, and therefore more time can be spent doing more KPIs and doing more analysis, which BPC has allowed us to do really. So yeah, we're in a much better place, and we feel that we're just about standing still at the moment, and there's a lot more scope to improve the process even further.